In the heart of NASCAR country lies a diamond of championship kart racing. Some of the best sim racers from iRacing, specifically Monday Night Racing, making the trip to Mooresville, North Carolina to attack one of the fastest, one of the most technical tracks in the world of karting. It's modeled after the legendary circuit in Parma, Italy. GoPro Motorplex hosting the Monday Night Racing Championship banquet and a championship of its own. Welcome to Monday Night Racing's Championship Banquet and the Tufco Flooring Team Enduro Championship at GoPro Motorplex. And no, I didn't say the virtual GoPro Motorplex, Kenneth, because we are here. Well, not me and you, but our cameras, our producers, directors, and the drivers are at the physical, the literal GoPro Motorplex, taking their talents from the sim world, and they will duke it out tonight in a team endurance competition with a Le Mans style start at the starting grid. Kenneth, glad to be with you, my colleague Kenneth Bueno, and then also putting in all the hard hours, Ryan Bauer, our producer tonight, working on location here. And Kenneth, this is a little bit ridiculous because we're going to have these drivers actually go on a physical track, beat and bang tires on a physical track, and hey, maybe we'll get some tempers flaring too. Have some fun tonight, right?
Yeah, we definitely could, Devin. And you know what they say, the cars may be fake, but the racing is real. But the cars are real, and the racing will be even more real going into tonight. This is all going to be about fun. I know this is coming after a grueling Monday Night Racing season that you actually competed in not too long ago, but this is all going to be about fun, all about just experiencing it and just having a blast here at this fantastic go-kart racing venue.
And so much work went into this. First of all, let's take a look at what we're racing on. Now, like I said, this is the track based on the legendary circuit in Italy from Parma. And this track was actually laser scanned and put down here by Justin Marks and Michael McDowell, among others, to put this in Mooresville, North Carolina, an 11-turn circuit. You're going clockwise here tonight. And Kenneth, this is a track that is so technical. You see the braking zones. Red being kind of heavier braking zones than the yellow, where you can kind of start to get back into the gas a little bit here. But technical, fast, and a great tribute to a phenomenal karting track from Italy.
Well, you definitely say it there. Based off of Parma, a lot of F1 racers used to race there when they were in their karting ages, when they were younger. So this track, I mean, modeled after that historic venue. I mean, this is such a technical track, such a hard one to go around in these cars. I mean, I've never been there in person, but especially with the way you see it there on the map, the tight turns, some of the ways that you have to get around the carousel, some of the left-handers, the right-handers, and especially even more so, you're going to be in a pack. You're going to be having drivers around you. It's going to make things a little bit harder, but I'm sure these drivers are definitely up for the challenge when we kick things off tonight.
We are just 2 minutes until the green flag. The grid's about to be set. They did have qualifying earlier today, and so they're ready to go. But we do have boots on the ground. Jeff McConey is actually on site. He flew to North Carolina this morning for this event to cover it for us, and we will throw it down to Jeff a little bit later as he will hassle some of our drivers down there. Guys like Raja Caruth making the trip. Unfortunately, Anthony Alfredo and Ron Capps will be watching along with you guys as they were unable to make today's event. But some of the big names from Monday Night Racing, including Will Rogers, the champion just a few weeks ago here tonight, Kenneth, will look to defend his virtual championship with a physical championship here tonight.
And they gave him a physical trophy. They had the award ceremony not too long ago after the conclusion of our season 2. So they had all the awards set out. They had everything set for Will Rogers, that he did win that championship. And now he gets to strap himself on a car. You see the drivers right there on your screen, all of them lining up to their cars. And Devin, you said it, a Le Mans style start. So they're not going to be starting in their carts. No, they're going to be running to their carts. We'll see who gets there first and whether they're able to start their carts in time to be there to the green flag.
So the helmet strapping on. Unfortunately, we do not know exactly who is going first and second stint here tonight, but we will call everyone by their team names, and we do have the teams categorized with us, and we will keep you updated on that throughout the night. Dynamic weather has been turned on in Mooresville, North Carolina tonight. 78-degree air temperature, partly cloudy out here. 31-degree humidity with winds going south-southwest at 3 miles per hour. So not a lot of heat in this track, or overwhelming heat. The humidity pretty low. Not a lot of winds to deal with. And so maybe some of these veteran karters, there are a number of drivers who do have real-life karting experience at a championship level. They might have the ability here to do a little bit of, per se, drafting. It's not real drafting per se, but it could be. So we'll see what these drivers can do. All of them have actually went out and took laps on the track, both in practice and in qualifying. So it's not like they're fresh into the karts here on this Le Mans style start.
Definitely not. You see them, they're about to go standing right on the grass. Well, they'll be running straight. You see some of them already getting that start, putting their foot forward, already in a stance, ready to go sprinting straight to their carts. I think this is the first that we see. Devin, we're usually accustomed to seeing everything on iRacing, everything on Sim. They're already in their cars virtually, but now you see them all ready to go, and they are ready to run to their carts.
We are prepared for ultimate chaos here for the Monday Night Racing Tufco Team Enduro Challenge at GoPro Motorplex, taking the drivers from the sim world into the virtual world for the championship banquet for Monday Night Racing. Who will be able to claim the bragging rights of not being the sim champion, but the physical champion in the home of NASCAR in North Carolina? Drivers at their ready for the Le Mans style start, starting the grass, running into their cockpit, strapping in, starting the engine, and rolling off the grid. So glad to have you live on Podium Esports along for the ride. And the Tufco Team Enduro Challenge is green at GoPro Motorplex. Everyone strapping on, and some taking off before they're ready to go.
And a quick one there. That's the 17 machine already off and away. But you see a two-way battle already for the lead. As you see some guys in the back struggling. There's a man in the white shirt behind there. He's looking to get his cart started. They may have a mechanic there to help things out, but he may be rough on the start here as everyone's already on their way.
A difficult beginning for what looks like the Kickin' Asphalt team. Meanwhile, all the kart goers back out onto their machines, and a team to watch tonight is two professional NASCAR drivers in the Peach Mafia machine, that being Garrett Smithley, the Rick Ware Racing driver in the Cup and Xfinity Series, and Ryan Vargas, the full-time Xfinity Series driver for JD Motorsports. Team Tryhard right now in second, though, that being the Monday Night Racing champion of Will Rogers, along with Nick Sanchez. So a few different drivers in this race here, Kenneth, with real-life racing experience and real-life karting experience as well.
They definitely are, and a lot of them took that step. I mean, you say people like Ryan Vargas, of course, NASCAR drivers, people that have found their experience, and I think now we see yellow flag. There was a crash on, I think, a spin on the racing course in the middle. I think I saw two carts around there. I think they've already got themselves back up. You see the two right there on the right side of your screen, but a very quick lead for Team Tryhard. All right, this team comes now at the top of the board on lap number 1, but there is a nice fight for second. 4 cars looking into the handful of corners in the back end of the course.
And Team Tryhard, not just Will Rogers, Nick Sanchez, real-life racing drivers, but in fact, Will Rogers started kart racing at just 9 years old, a state champion. Nick Sanchez, the other driver on this team who will jump into this kart as well for the second stint, he started kart racing at 12 at his home track of Homestead Miami Speedway. But then a battle right behind. It's a large lead for Tryhard, but then Peach Mafia, off-access paint, and Fast Pasta really tight right now for that second position.
They definitely are, but nobody has been able to make a pass just yet. They've been kind of running nose to tail, sort of in a train configuration. All of them kind of in a line. You see them now heading into the right-handers, just so tough this part of the track is. And you see already just trying to catch up, make that move. And here, Devin, much like we say it on the iRacing service, on a lot of the tracks that we see, you have to make your passes in real life just as methodical as you would on the sim. You have to place your kart in the right place, and especially with the fact that it's modeled off of the famous Parma course in Italy, it's even harder to make those passes with the corners being so tight.
The battle for second raging on between Peach Mafia, the drivers of Garrett Smithley and Ryan Vargas, and right behind them, the Off Access Paint Group. Now, this is Greg Stumpf. He is the founder and owner of Off Access Paint, but his driving partner today is a multi-time Supercross champion. Chad Reed made the journey out here. I don't think he was in Australia and flew out to North Carolina, but two very interesting drivers in the battle for second right now. You see in the orange helmet, that's the off-access paint crew trying to catch up to Peach Mafia, either Garrett Smithley or Ryan Vargas in that kart.
And Fast Pasta, Victoria's Secret, the two teams that are trailing behind these two as well as they head back to the mid-end of the course. They're also trying to catch up, but it seems as though they've spread. So it was just about these top 4. They were all clustered together, but as the laps start to wind down, you'll see them start to separate even further as Team Tryhard continues to lead this race. And they started not too far off in the grid. They started within the first handful of positions, so they already put themselves in a good spot. It was just all about that start that really made things worse for them.
So far, everyone's starting to spread out just a little bit. An extremely tight battle, though, between Team Enhelig and also Team Podium, who just made the pass on Team Combs. So Team Podium up into the 7th position. And tonight, Team Podium is actually comprised of a member of Podium Esports and a member of not Podium Esports. Well, you have the chief broadcasting operator, the great James Pike, who I guess I'm technically filling in for today. But his racing partner is actually Raja Karuth, who will be in the kart in the 2nd stint. So you get the not only phenomenal sim racer, but also real-world racing driver Raja Karuth out of Washington, D.C., backing up right now a great performance from James Pike.
And what's something great here, Devin, about this kind of racing and the fact that we have this sort of enduro challenge where you have 2 drivers kind of making their stints and trading places in the seat of the car. You have just a handful selection of people. We have real life racers mixed in with people who broadcast or people who work in some other places in the motorsports industry. You say it there with Team Podium, who have now still continued to be in that 7th, actually moved up to the 6th position, getting by the 14 machine. They've been able to work together, make that compromise between a real life racing driver in the Arkham Menard series and a broadcaster that you usually see on this network.
And as I mentioned, we do have boots on the ground. Jeff McConey is there getting dirty himself. Jeff, what do you got for us?
Well, it's a beautiful evening. The sun is setting over there in the west side of the track. Very competitive out here. As you saw there at the start, everyone made a mad dash with their carts. I saw a few people immediately jump in, start strapping, and hit the gas. Some of them weren't fully strapped in, but they're all good now. Everyone's happy. We got a flagman over there. But
tearing it up might be a little bit interesting. Here we still see the battle for second between Peach Mafia and the off-axis paint group. Oh, and there we go. We're going to have our first driver change, it looks like. One team going off onto pit road, and that means that they will be going into the 2nd stint of this race, it looks like, or 2nd driver, I believe, or either he had a kart issue as well. Yeah. This is an enduro race. 1 hour here in these karts, Kenneth, so you got to make your decisions about who's driving when, and you just have to go out, do your job in this first stint.
Yeah, that's one thing that also goes with endurance racing, not only in real life, in iRacing, but also here in this sort of little challenge here. You have to kind of plan when each driver is going to go in. Maybe one driver sees it fit that this will be better for them an earlier stint, or maybe the later stint to cap off the race. And some of these drivers have come in with formidable plans as to which driver is going to do what stint and how they're exactly going to format this race. But just like how dynamic racing is in general, you're going to see dynamicness in terms of the drivers changing positions in terms of the seats. As you see another battle for position here a little bit further back. I believe that was one of the 13 car right there. And I believe you also saw a black flag, Devin. So there was a driver who did get penalized as the off-axis guys do go down pit road.
Another driver down on pit road. Jeff, we lost your audio last time, but let's again see the lovely face of Jeff McConey. What do we got going on downstairs?
Well, they needed someone handsome to show up to North Carolina, but he was busy today, so they sent me. You know, they say I have a great face for radio, and that's why I'm out here. But I hopped on a flight from Indiana, and now I'm here in beautiful North Carolina with all these amazing drivers. But as you saw, the competition is steep. If you thought they were getting ready to tear up virtual race cars, out here tonight we saw some very aggressive. I saw some pushing and shoving as they were getting over to their go-karts. It's getting interesting out there. There was a little bit of contact going through turn 1 right there off camera. But it's a beautiful night here, and it's going to be a great race. Keep your eyes on a couple different drivers. But off axis, they just had a penalty. I think, though, some of the NASCAR pros may show why they are the pros tonight. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, not surprised if the pros are beating the guys who aren't pros. It's almost an unfair advantage, dare I say. We saw a couple of teams side by side, Team Case and DJ Max Respect, in a battle for 11th. And then the Durantics and it was Team Ramrod were side by side. And the number 17 machine, a very interesting combination of both the real-life driver Robbie Lyons in the Xfinity Series, who came home 23rd in the Xfinity Series race at Daytona, and Brett Baldack out of Rochester, New York, but now currently a reporter for Fox 46 Charlotte. So a fun combination there who just did not get off to the greatest start, stuck in the 13th position, Kenneth.
Yeah, a lot of drivers being handful there, and even then, you saw the opening start where one of the cars couldn't even get their kart started to begin, so they already fell far down the pace. You see this battle continues through. You saw them hopping the curbs there in the midsection of the course. You saw them also battling through turn 1, and just like Jeff pointed there, Devin, turn 1 isn't necessarily a very easy part of the course to get through because you have to be hard on the brakes a little bit, but you also kind of have to carry the cart through that right-hander, and then there's a quick left-hander to follow, sort of like a chicane, if you will, and it's a very tough part of the course, and there's really where you're going to try to make your passes as this battle continues in the back end.
7/10 mile track, and so the laps do go by actually fairly quickly. Everyone going around lap times of 1 minute and 5 seconds. And this battle going on right here, you see going across the line, the battle between Fast Pasta and Victorious Secret, that rounding out your podium. Fast Pasta, unfortunately, the Fast Pasta couldn't be here, Anthony Alfredo. So that's Zach McAfee, the owner and founder of SimSeats, driving the Fast Pasta mobile. And right on his heels is Ford Martin and Matt Stolnick, the drivers for Victorious Secret. Two drivers who certainly do a great job in the virtual world, as they both were in the top 10 in points this most recent Monday Night Racing season, and still right now trying to run down Team Tryhard of Will Rogers and Nick Sanchez.
Yeah, they're still in a heat battle. You see some drivers already lapping some of the competition. Saw Off-Axis Paint and their team just make the start-finish line not too long ago, just all by themselves, and some of them more clambered in as some of the other cars also on the circuit. But they're Monday Night Racing, and no, Devin, you probably have the best experience out of that one, since you basically are a driver there. You competed in all the events with these guys on the sim, and just how different it is with the car track combos that you have and the difficulty of the competition itself. And then you go here in the cards, and it kind of is just kind of putting almost everybody on an even playing field. Yes, you do have real life racers, but at the same time, they're prone to mistakes. This is a track that not everybody is accustomed to at the same time in the same experience level. So it is also a lot of fun, and you're seeing them adapting to the courses now the sun is starting to set over North Carolina.
And we unfortunately had in the Championship 4 at Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, Anthony Alfredo, one of the Championship 4 competitors, have technical issues. His car, quote unquote, would not fire due to internet issues, if you will, and had to disconnect and reconnect multiple times. And a team who unfortunately has brought some bad luck onto them tonight has been the number 8 machine of the Stephen Ellis fan club. First of all, Stephen Ellis, unfortunately not able to join us as he is stuck in Canada. So he was not able to come. So his fan club of Drew Welker and Justin Malillo instead running that car here tonight, and they are the team who did not get their engine fired easily, if you will. And so they had some difficulties, and they are stuck in the back of this field. Everyone's still chasing Team Tryhard, though. Peach Mafia did have an issue or a driver change, but the machine of Garrett Smithley and Ryan Vargas still inside the top 5 right now. But climbing up the ranks has been Team Podium with Rajah Caruth and James Pike.
Yeah, they've been climbing up the order, but you saw it there just not too long ago as they were crossing the line. Victoria's Secret in the 4 car has been catching up to Fast Pasta, so they're putting the pressure already, trying to keep in on this 10th lap here. Going to be the 11th lap. You see them two. These are other two that do cross the line. That was Team Tufco and I believe Miller Lewis Racing as well. And you'll see it there. You see those two cars right in the middle. I believe those are the two, Fast Pasta and Victoria's Secret. They have been really at each other these past couple laps, and maybe we could see a pass here coming shortly.
And Team Tufco into the top 10, that being Connor Case and Mike Case. Of course, Tufco, a great partner here with Monday Night Racing, the title sponsor for the series. And Jeff, we need to figure out a title for you, as you are the guy who just ran down to North Carolina on a whim, and now you're trackside here at GoPro Motorplex.
Mr. Setup Shop, Mr. Macaroni, that's what I'm always called. But well, right now, James Pike, the voice of Podium Esports CEO here, is ready to jump in the car. Podium is now making the jump to real-world racing. You saw some drifting last week. He and Rajah Caruth seem to be a strong team. They qualified 3rd out of all the cars here, and there was some, I think there was a little bit of competition for who was going to start last, but overall, I think 3rd place is a good place to be. But Off-Axis still in a little bit of trouble. They're looking to get some back. But someone else to keep your eye on, Zach with SimSeats. You were talking about him earlier. That's going to be someone you want to watch, because Zach turns a lot of laps over on his SimSeats rig, and I think he's filling in well for Anthony Alfredo, who couldn't make it tonight, who also runs on a SimSeats rig. And we got, oh, hang on, can we get the camera over there? That's the production tent behind us. James Pike is running around. He's got, well, about 2 minutes ago, he said, I got 4 minutes till I get in the cart, and he ran right by. All 5'8" of them ran right by. And I can hear the laughing from the production booth from over here. He goes running by. I go, I got 4 minutes to get in the cart. And now, here he goes. There goes Pike. James Pike with the salute. There he goes. He's ready to get in the cart, give Rajah a break. Maybe we'll catch up with him soon.
How about that kind of a double stint? First of all, trying to make sure that this broadcast goes through pretty seamlessly, and then having to turn things around and hop into the cart. I hear some celebration going on in the background, but we will have James Pike back in the cart soon. For now, though, Rajah Caruth at the helm of the team Podium number 7, riding around in the 5th position. But as we mentioned, Kenneth, everyone's starting to separate a little bit, but that top three continues to dwindle down. Peach Mafia right on the rear end of Fast Pasta, and Victoria's Secret is there to attack as well.
And that last time by, Peach Mafia set their fastest time of the race. It was a 103.125. And even in qualifying, we saw drivers and in practice and breaking in to the 103s. I think the first time we've seen them break into the 102s is in this race, with Tryhard setting it not too long ago, actually setting it just in their best time on lap number 9. So already drivers trying to creep through the times, and even then the grip levels are starting to go up. The track is starting to cool off as the sun starts to set. You see that beautiful scenery here in Mooresville, North Carolina. But I love that shot of Pike just running over to his cart and just making sure everything's good on the broadcast, and then heading straight to his car, where I think Raja was first on the stint there.
We continue to take a look at turn number 1, and like you said, that is certainly a difficult shot to make because you have that elevation change. You go upwards, and then on that sharp right-hander, then you have to go down as well. So major elevation change going straight into turn number 1, and that's where these drivers had that Le Mans start, ran into their cars, hopefully buckled up their seatbelts fast enough. But another major part of this race tonight, Kenneth, is the fact that you're having driver changes. And so you have to go into this like Rolex 24-hour Le Mans kind of driver change, get onto pit road, stop well, unbuckle, get out, and then get your next driver in as we have a caution here. Looks like a couple places on the track, but look like especially through 1 and 2 there, it's like some issues for one driver, unfortunately.
And we're going to try to get the shot there as quickly as possible. But there, Devin, if you're going to have a Le Mans style start, you have to have a Le Mans style race. There has to be some of that relationship between those two. You see one of the carts now heading out of pit road this time by to get in. I believe that was one of the driver changes. I believe maybe that might have been James Pike that was making his driver change from Raja Caruth. But even then, you say it there, the endurance mindset about having to quickly get out of your car, strap the other driver in, make sure there's no issues with the cart itself or with the buckling system. As you see a handful of more carts now going on pit road, and the yellow flag is waved. So I think this is the chance for everybody to get their service and also switch drivers if they need to.
Yeah, and service is scarce, if you will. You can't really go and get 4 fresh Goodyear rubbers. You can't fill it up with fuel like you can kind of have in the sim world. It's almost like a fixed setup race, but it's even more difficult than that. So all you get is a driver change, and you have to go and communicate with your teammate. Here's what the track is doing. Here's what our cart is doing. What can you do to make it faster? And that's where having a real-life racing member is going to help your team.
It definitely is, but we say on iRacing, I think we've said it so many times in our coverage of the MPI Cup Series, Devin. We have that experience. We've said it so many times that fixed setups were like, oh, it's so limited. There's so many limited choices. You can only choose the steering ratio and the brake bias and everything on that setup. Here, you can't change anything. You can't change nothing about the carts. You get them straight from GoPro Motorplex, and you have to work with what you got. Well, the car feels tight. Too bad. You have to really dynamically change your driving style in order to suit the car itself. You can't really make those adjustments on pit road. So that's also just the straight limitation of what these carts have. See a couple more drivers now crossing the start-finish line. That was Fast Pasta and Victoria's Secret. You saw them right nose to tail with each other, where they've kind of separated just a little bit. And also, I believe the Geriatrics and Miller Lewis Racing have been in a battle for 14th as well.
Yeah, battle back there as we have, I believe, that might be Brett Baldeck or either Robbie Lyons in the number 17 machine as more drivers continue to come off of pit road. And Miller Lewis Racing having issues as well, trying to speed things up. And it sounds like we got the boss man, the guy who put all of this together with, of course, some help from his buddies. Ford Martin has done a tremendous job making Monday Night Racing what it is, and he might have an edge here, Jeff. He has multiple starts here in the Little 600 as a spotter, so maybe using some of that experience here tonight to play with some of his other drivers in Monday Night Racing.
Yeah, Ford, so you were out there. You just finished up your first stint. He's got his eyes on the prize out there, though. So first off, how's the track out there? How was the car that everyone prepared for you?
Well, the guys at GoPro did a great job. It's a lot of fun being out here, and everybody out here at GoPro Motorplex have done a great job hosting us and putting on a great event. I was battling. I don't know who it was. He had a silver helmet, but we were going there for P2 because they flagged, I think, Vargas and Greg from Off Axis. So we ended up in third and couldn't get around him for a while. And the double rights are about as hard as it can, but overall, it's a lot of fun. We're about to go into the lights and stall next on the race on the track, so hopefully you can do pretty well here.
So when you were out there, oh, we got Gary. Gary's jumping on here. Word from the producer, Gary, you were just out there. How was it out there?
I mean, it was fun, but I don't know why we're so slow. Our team is, I think we're dead last right now. Our cart is not moving at all down the straightaways.
Third to last.
Sitting still, so.
You're third to last. I've just been.
Oh, we're third to
you're
last. Okay, third to last is good.
And
We're not
Ford
dead
here.
last.
We got Ford here who's third to first. So
But-
what do you have to say to Ford then?
He's third to first.
Third to first.
I'm gonna wreck him. That's what I'm gonna
Okay,
say.
there we go.
No, but yeah, I'm still struggling with the hairpin, turn 8. I just can't seem to get my momentum right coming out of that corner. I'm losing pretty much all my speed there, so we'll see. We'll see on my next stint. Hopefully Gabe can make up some time here.
Looking for Gabe to make up some time. We got Ryan Vargas as well. Ryan, we're ambushing you here. So, how was the
Oh, here we
cart
go.
out there? How'd the guys back at the shop do getting you ready?
Oh yeah, the guys back at the shop did a great job. They prepared me a cart that's faster than everybody else here. We just we're victim of a miscommunication from officials. They waved the black flag for someone, pointed towards me, and we served it. And they were like, "No, it's not for you." So
I think Ryan just wanted to give us a football field length, head
Yeah.
start. Yeah, no, that's really gracious of you.
I mean, it's not easy being this good. So, I mean, I still saw that. I saw that cart get. Hey, I got back up to second after coming off track too. So,
I was
if we
watching
still
your-
get second, I'm gonna be stoked. I'll be stoked.
So, we've now had threats that third to last is going to wreck third to first, and Ford said that he was going to wreck you. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I love Ford.
Okay.
I did dude him, but I was a little mad. So, I deserve it probably, but it's okay.
Now, that audio clip of you saying you love Ford, are you happy with that going out of context? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
okay with that.
That will be used. So there we have Ryan Vargas there, tearing it up in the Xfinity Series with JD Motorsports. They gave away one of his fenders, had a little bit of paint scratched off of it, but it was for the most difficult driver to pass in Monday Night Racing. Got a brand new fender, slightly used, off of Ryan Vargas' car. Pretty cool prize out here, and it's a lot of fun. As you can tell, tempers are high, but everyone's having a really good time. It's all in good fun.
Tempers are high and jubilation is high as well. You can see everyone having a lot of fun here at the Monday Night Racing Championship Banquet and here in the Tufco Team Enduro Challenge at GoPro Motorplex. And Kenneth, I think that something that we really need to mention is the pure fact that a lot of these guys had never met face-to-face until today. So many guys coming in from different states or different parts of North Carolina. Now, some of these media members do know each other from covering the races, but there are a number of guys here who this is their first time being able to see one another in person.
Yeah, that's the power of the sim there, Devin. I mean, you talk about how drivers develop relationships on the sim, whether they're teammates or whether they just work together well on the racetrack. They know each other from the internet, but when you meet in real life, that's such a great moment. I think here at Monday Night Racing, just the gathering of drivers from different backgrounds, different personalities, different types of people. And you saw there, Jeff McConey was sitting there with Ryan Vargas, but Will Rogers was also there. They were talking about Gary Sexton's team being third to last, where Rogers must be happy that his team is first. Nick Sanchez has been wheeling that at the front of the field, and he currently holds the lead as he just crosses the start-finish line.
And we do have some Steve Affont fans going on in the Facebook section right now, part of Team Ramrod with him and Michael Massey. Team Ramrod right now stuck in the 13th position, trying to make a little bit of headway on DJ Max Respect for the 12th position, but unfortunately about 25 and a half seconds behind DJ Max Respect. And you know what, guys? We're having a lot of fun here, it looks like, at GoPro Motorplex, and so we would like you guys to have a little bit of fun with us. So, I don't know, maybe if you guys throw some questions in there, maybe we'll just have to throw some of those at Jeff and see maybe we can get some fan interaction, some fan interviews going on here when he pulls over some drivers every now and again. And speaking of that, if anyone's got a question for Will Rogers, it sounds like the Season 2 champion is caught up with Jeff McConey.
Yep, we got Will Rogers here. If you got any questions, shoot them over. I'm just some guy from Indiana that, sort of wandered to North Carolina here today. But we're here. Everyone's here at the GoPro Motorplex. First off, how's the cart out there on track? How'd the guys back at the shop do?
Guys back at the shop did wonders on this thing. It's a rocket ship. I mean, we had some cart problems in practice. Like, I got a cart that was going to blow up, so I told the officials, I guess, and they gave us another cart, and luckily it worked out for us. But cart's doing really good. Obviously started second. Ryan Vargas got the pole, but we got a really good Le Mans start. I kind of started running and pushing back a little bit, so that made it help me. He actually couldn't get his belts clicked, so he ended up having to drop back. That gave me, I don't know, probably like 15 carts to start with as far as distance from leader to second, and then I just started working away, hit my marks, and I think we ended up like a whole back straightaway and a half in front of him before we pitted.
So you were pulling away there. Do you think it's because of that second card they gave you? They might have cheated up for the champion a little bit. That's coming from chat, not me. I promise.
Oh, I'm sure that's coming from chat. There's a possibility of that for sure. I know the GoPro guys here really well, so they probably treated me nice.
There we go. A little bit of nepotism behind the scenes for the champion. They're trying to feed him a second one in a row here. It's all completely rigged. No, everyone's having a good time. Will Rogers ready to jump back in very soon here, but we've seen a couple more wrecks. I'm noticing turn 1 seems to be the area. There was someone that went off and around and spun. I'm not sure who it was, but practicing donuts for victory lane maybe. I think James Pike is out there. Guys, up in the booth, how is Pike doing out there? How are his lap times stacking up?
James Pike, let's take a look here. And of course, also we did have a few viewers asking about where Garrett Smithley is. He's in a good spot right now with Peach Mafia. They're currently in the 2nd position. Team Podium right now sitting in the 8th position with James Pike behind the wheel. Last time around was a 107.581, so a little bit off the pace compared to the teams in front of him. Currently about 10 seconds behind Team Combs for that 7th position. And still, this is a very long race. We still have 35 minutes to go here in this race, I believe. I believe it's an hour, yeah. So this one, it's going to be a long race for these guys. Luckily, the North Carolina weather not treating them too harshly today.
You know, Devin, I'm surprised that a lot of the drivers are taking very short stints instead of going about like half the race and then having the other driver go the other half. You're seeing drivers go in maybe 5 to 10 minutes in the race, going a couple laps, then switching. And I think that's probably what they're going to do, split it into bigger sections where both of them can equally get the time without basically having it just monotonous and having one driver just have all the laps in one section, have the other driver drive all the laps in the second session. But I did see something there in turn 1, Devin, that it was a pass for, I believe, the 3rd spot, but there is a battle nonetheless between Fast Possum 3 Machine and Off Axis Paint in the 2, so they've been working well together around the racetrack. And nonetheless, even though the field's kind of separated, we do have some fantastic runs for position here.
Yeah, a lot of fun being had by many drivers, and everyone's still chasing, though, Team Tryhard. We just chatted with Will Rogers, one of the drivers of Team Tryhard, and currently behind the wheel is the ARCA Rev Racing driver of Nick Sanchez. And Sanchez has that karting experience too, started at 12 years old at Homestead Miami Speedway. And a look here at turn number 1, Kenneth, and this is where you do elevate a little bit on corner entry where that braking zone is, and that immediate decline as you make that sharp right-hander into the S's in turns 1 and 2. So a very difficult part of the track, but it's where everyone has to start.
And it's where Jeff McConey had said there that there have been some issues with some drivers that have been spinning off of that course. You see how technical it is. That right-hander, it looks fairly easy from, I think, where we're sitting here, Devin, or at least the angle that we have here on the camera virtually. But you have to make that right-hander without trying to attack the curb too much. But then you also have to set up for that short left-hander before the other right-hander going into about turn 4. So it's not necessarily easy to go around this racing venue, especially there where we see some drivers get into trouble. For now, though, you see everybody fairly clean at this point. So at least for now, the separation has been helping a little bit.
So right now, a great run going on for the number 8 machine of the Stephen Ellis fan club. That's right, Stephen. Go ahead, start cheering a little bit. Drew Welker and Justin Malillo have moved up 2 spots into the 15th position, passing Sexwood Racing and Miller Lewis Racing. Still has a way to go to catch up to Team Ramrod, though. Your top 5 as it stands, Team Tryhard, your leaders of Will Rogers and Nick Sanchez. Peach Mafia in second, Garrett Smithley and Ryan Vargas. Off Access Paint currently in the 3rd position. Excuse me, in the number 2 machine. That's Chad Reed, the Supercross champion, and Greg Stumpf, the owner and founder of Off Access Paint.
And then you see Victoria's Secret rounding out the top 5, of course. Ford Martin and Matt Stalknecht, they've been working well together so far. And you saw Ford Martin not too long ago being interviewed by Jeff McConey. So I'm pretty sure Stalknecht is currently holding at least reins of that kart for now. But maybe another thing to bring in iRacing here, Devin. The track is cooling. We see that happen in iRacing with dynamic weather, having the moon go up, having the sun go down, having the track cool out a little bit. So could this potentially help the kart drivers in terms of grip, in terms of maybe what they're handling with? You saw Will Rogers complimenting his car and how fast it was. But for other drivers who may be struggling in that early stint, could this be kind of the saving grace to turn things around?
It certainly could, and you mentioned about what iRacing does to try to replicate the physical world, and when it comes to this track, we already mentioned it was based off the legendary karting track in Parma, Italy, In fact, back when Michael McDowell and Justin Marks were coming up with the concept of putting a karting track in North Carolina, this was their idea, was to go and get that Parma, Italy track, and was actually able to laser scan the track 1 week before it was demolished. So they laser scanned that track, they took it, and they actually drew it out and put it here in North Carolina. But since I know iRacing has about 500 demands per day of what tracks to add to the service, in some way or shape, Parma/GoPro Motorplex is technically laser scanned.
It technically is, and there's a great history behind the opening of this track back in about 2012 when they decided to build this thing. And you know what? One thing about GoPro Motorplex I think that we've yet to mention here, Devin, we have one of our fellow co-members, a part of the MPI broadcast, that works at this very racetrack. Michael Guerrilla is doing a great charge in at least being a part of the workplace here, making sure things are going on good on the racetrack. So we saw him there just a little bit at the start before we went live, but shout out to Michael Guerrilla. He's done a fantastic job working the track just like he does, I think, regularly.
Yeah, Michael Guerrilla, another member of the Podium Esports team who is working this race as well. And it sounds like we got some more driver changes going on. You see them coming off of pit road. So chat, get those keyboards ready. Who do we have questions for, Jeff?
Well, we don't have anyone here yet. They're about to start doing the... Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. We're about to start doing the driver changes here, though. They say races are won in the shop. However, there's no shop here. Everyone's at the GoPro Motorplex here, where the carts are provided. So races are really won with the Le Mans style. One person jumps out, next person jumps in. You see them start to make the change there. It can be anywhere from 3 seconds to probably 20 seconds if you're not that good at it. But, I mean, I saw one team, he just reached in, he grabbed him by the arm, by the sweatshirt, and just pulled. Like one swift motion, up and out and gone. And he was in there by the time the other guy's 2 feet hit the ground. Some people are taking this pretty seriously. If you got to yank your teammate around, he's going too slow, you got to do what you got to do. And we'll catch up with a few drivers here in a few minutes as they're just now wrapping up. No contact as they're leaving pit road yet, but remember, these aren't no collided like they are in iRacing. As soon as you're in there, you can go and you can get hit.
Oh yeah, much like iRacing pit road, which I struggle with sometimes. And now as we pass the halfway point of today's race, we're going to bring you the iRacing Midway Race Break, brought to you by iRacing. Even though we're not on iRacing, but it's the world's premier online racing game, iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in Australian supercars, IndyCar, IMSA, NASCAR, the World of Outlaws, and more. Well, Team Tryhard leading the way right now in the number 5 machine, comprised of Will Rogers and Nick Sanchez. Right now in second, the Peach Mafia machine of Garrett Smithley and Ryan Vargas. Fast Pasta, it's only Zach McAfee right now in third. He's the only driver of that machine. Off-axis paint with Chad Reed and Greg Stumpf currently in fourth. Victorious Secret in fifth with Ford Martin and Matt Stolnick. Team Combs right now in the 6th position in the number 15. That's being manned by Casey Combs and Kevin Combs. Number 14, I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce your name. Team Inhelig. I'm going to mess that up terribly. And then I got to say your guys' names as well. Blake and Barry. I'm sorry, I'm going to just completely botch your guys' name throughout the day. In 8th is Team Podium. We had James Pike in there. Raja Karuth also a part of that team. Team Tufco in 9th, currently in the number 13 machine with Connor Case and Mike Case kicking asphalt. In 10th right now in the number 10, that's Jake Fisher and Garrett Ryder. Team Case in 11th. They're in the number 16 machine with Kennedy Case and Jackson Gibbs. DJ Max Respect in the 12th position. That's DJ Cummings and Max Kennan. And then also the G's, I would like to call them, in 13th right now. That is Robbie Lyons and Brett Baldeck. Team Ramrod in 14th. I can't say their name for the life of me. That's Steve Lafont and Michael Massey. Sexwood Racing stuck in 15th right now. That's Gabe Wood and Gary Sexton. The good old Stephen Ells fan club riding around in the 16th position, comprised of Drew Welker and Justin Malillo. And rounding out your field in 17th is Miller Lewis Racing, Garrett Miller, and Noah Lewis. That concludes your iRacing Midway Race Break with over 170,000 drivers on the service and over 90 laser scan tracks and cars to choose from. iRacing is your portal to the racing world. Get on track today at iRacing.com. And now let's talk with someone who just got off the track today. Jeff, who we got downstairs?
Well, you can get on the track with iRacing. You can get in the real world here at the GoPro Motorplex. and you can use Marconi Setup Shop on iRacing to get it done. We're here with Gabe.
Great plug, great
There we go.
plug.
Thank you very much. We're here with Gabe. Sure would love to win this race. How's the kart doing out there, bud?
Slow, but I think there's a little bit of a weight disadvantage. We're out there running P last, but we're holding it down. We got a hell of a fight for 17th, but it's just fun racing with these guys. I mean, you race with them for 6 months on iRacing, and we finally get a chance to meet each other. And the first question is, all right, who are you? It's that we don't put faces to names, but these guys are great. It's hot and slick out there. I mean, the temperature's pretty nice out here, but these tires are hot. And turn 8, I've had so much trouble in turn 8, but it's so much fun out here, and I can't thank Ford and everybody from Monday Night Racing and Tufco for this is great.
So you
Ask
mentioned
him how
that,
the tires are.
Oh, they're wanting to know. Chat's wanting to know how the tires are out there. You taking care of them?
No, not at all.
No. What was the tire percentage when you came into pit?
0, 0, 0, and I think I saw a -4. So
What were the tire temps?
hot.
Hot. Okay. Well, there we go.
The JD Motorsports tire
temps
specialist there
are
with all the
hot.
info.
The tire specialists are pulling their hair out. We're here with James Pike. You are the man, the myth, the legend. So, how was the kart out there for you? You guys started third tonight, right?
Yeah, started third. Raja Caruth holding it down in Winston-Salem State in my hometown, so gotta love it. But tires are pretty hard out there. They don't really give all that much, and you can feel the kart slide a lot. So, but I mean, if my appearance doesn't make it obvious, these things are no joke, especially for somebody who doesn't even race on iRacing all that much, let alone real life. So, it's definitely hard to get the most out of these things, but. I knew immediately when we looked at the setup, I was like, Raj, you're taking 3 of these stints, and I'm taking the one that doesn't matter. So we got Raj in the car for the final 30 minutes, and hopefully he can bring it home.
There you go. That sounds like a very solid plan. Now, chat really loved it when you ran by screaming, I've got 4 minutes to get in the car, and then 2 minutes later, you still hadn't run back the other way. So did you make it on time and everything was fine?
I did make it on time. I had a little bit of trouble with the D-loop. It wasn't necessarily going for me for a minute, so I had a bit of a panic attack then. But outside of that, really excited, and like Gabe said, like everybody said all night, so much love to Ford, to the admins at Monday Night Racing, to Tufco Flooring to help set this up. It's fun to not be behind the mic for one of these and actually drive for a change. So yeah, it'll be a lot colder in November, presumably we come back here again, but I definitely want to give it another crack, and might try and get out here a little bit more over the summer to pull my lap times down to something a little bit more respectable.
There you go. Well, James Pike will be back here shortly after season 3, it sounds like, but great run out there, good work. Now, oh man, are we still going here? We still got a lot of stuff going on. So many people to talk to. I see Zach from Sim Seats here as well. Who else we got? Bring it in. Everyone come on in. Everyone come on in.
Hold on.
All right.
Who's in the fast Passamobile?
Zach. Zach's in the fast Passamobile.
Oh, I thought they said he's right.
Yeah.
Well, who's on the track right now?
Then who's on the track right now?
Yeah.
Teammates out there. He's rocking and rolling. I'm glad it's me and him. I'm sorry Anthony couldn't make it, man, but we're doing pretty good. We're in third place. I'm not the expert here. It's my first time here, but I feel like I'm picking it up, and we're hanging on tight to third place. I came out of the pits in second, so we made a really nice quick pit stop. We practiced the driver changes in qualifying, so we did pretty good. It paid off. I hung on as hard as I could. I lost 1 spot, but I feel like I did pretty good never being here before, so it was a lot of fun.
Was that you that I saw pull your teammate out of the cart and jump in, or was that someone else?
I don't know, man. I blacked out. It went by so fast. I have no idea.
Oh man, were there any major wrecks out there you had to drive through Days of Thunder style?
When I got out there, it was pretty clean. There wasn't a lot of people out there. I saw some caution flags, but nothing that I had to really worry about. So I was fortunate to have a pretty clean track out there. So don't forget to buy a sim seat. We were sponsored for a couple of races. That's why I got invited. So thank you, Ford, for inviting me. And don't forget, you need a sim seat, need a monitor stand, whatever. Here's where you get it.
There you go. You head on over to SimSeat. Now hold on. I was a sponsor as well for a couple of the races, and here I am behind the scenes after flying in this morning. There goes Zach with SimSeats. Come on, bring it on in, everybody. What do we got? Who we got here?
Hey, well, Garrett Smithley's in the chat right now. He wants a stage caution. Where's he at?
Hang on. Chad had a question? Did Chad have a question?
Well, Garrett's just hanging out in the chat right now. I want him hanging out with you.
Where's Garrett? Okay, Garrett's around here somewhere. Garrett, if you're watching, my feelings are hurt. So head on over here. But TJ, you were out there. How was the kart?
Tight, very tight, and it feels like we're dragging lead. Unfortunately, I don't think we got very lucky with the kart draw, unfortunately. So the way my partner's Max Kennan, so we've been trying to make up time in the pit swaps, try and get a couple spots up, because with the rest of the speed of these guys, we're just going to end up losing 1 or 2 spots, probably a run. So it's kind of how we're going with it. But see how it goes. I think we're right around P10, so if we can salvage a top 10, I'm cool with it. We didn't do too well. I think we were P15 qualifying, so if we can end up top 10, I'm happy with it.
There you go, a top 10 run out there tonight. Now, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing? Well, you've been nice and patient here, but you've hit the track, and you've been doing well out there. So how's everything going on your end?
Well, honestly, I haven't actually been on track. I'm the only one here that is not racing tonight. Personal choice.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you to Ford for doing all this. I run your logo, Kicking Tires. Jerry Jordan that's who I write for, Podium Esports. And next season, I'm actually going to have a few more sponsors. Dylan Friebel Photography, Track Talk Podcast, Save the Speedway, North Wilkesboro, and TobyKirsty.com. So, well, hey, let's make this bigger.
Garrett Smithley showed up. He was nice enough to show up. He was nice enough.
There he is.
Show up and then have to run off.
I know. He heard on the broadcast, Garrett, you're not over here and my feelings are hurt. So he shows up, rubs it in our faces, and then goes, oh, sorry, I gotta go, and dips out of here. But we got James Pike munching on a cookie. Energy food for winners, right? Maybe, possibly. Third place, there we go. It's a great time here at the GoPro Motorplex. Everyone's having a ton of fun.
Hey, it's the championship banquet, right? Everyone's just out here having a good time. And how about this? This is just absolutely gorgeous here. Ryan Bauer and the entire team. Am I hearing? Who's this courtesy of, Ryan? Ryder Diebold is right now piloting the drone here, going down the front straightaway. Thank you, Roger. This is incredible stuff here from the entire Podium Esports team. Oh my goodness here. Going down the front straightaway. Team Tryhard still leading the way here in front of Off Access Paint. Just under 20 minutes remain here for Podium Esports Monday Night Racing and the Tufco Team Enduro Challenge at GoPro Motorplex. A gorgeous facility co-owned by Justin Marks, the Xfinity Series winner at Mid-Ohio back in 2016 for Chip Ganassi, former World of Outlaws owner with Kyle Larson, and current co-owner of Trackhouse Racing alongside Pitbull. And then also co-owner Michael McDowell, the 2021 Daytona 500 champion, and also a back-to-back undefeated International Kart Federation champion and also World Karting Association champion. Won all three of those titles before age 20. And Michael McDowell from Arizona was actually at his local karting track when he came back here for the Phoenix Raceway event and went and actually drove on the track of his childhood with the young drivers. I was able to chat with him, and he said that the biggest thing when it came to making GoPro Motorplex was the fact that this is in the middle of NASCAR country, right? And so why is there not a track here for guys to be able to go out and even make a name for themselves or enhance their skills? So McDowell and Justin Marks teaming up. And of course, Max Pappas played a large role in this as well. The owner of Max Pappas Innovations, a great partner with not just Monday Night Racing, but also the title sponsor for the MPI Cup Series here on Podium Esports. Well, Jeff is having a party. Now I wish that I was there, not even racing, because it looks like you're having more fun than me, Jeff. You got everyone downstairs with you.
I'm having a great time. We bullied Garrett Smithley until he came over and talked to us here. First and foremost, you're getting ready to jump back in. You're watching the clock here. So what do you expect now this next stint?
Just go as fast as possible. We unfortunately had some type of penalty that wasn't our penalty. Unfortunately, Ryan served it, but it's all good. We got back up to second. I think we're running fourth or third or something like that. So I'm just going to try to go as quick as I can, keep it on the track, and try to beat, Team Tryhard? Will Rogers? Yeah, he's a road course ringer, so we got to try to beat him.
So you got the road course ringer out there. Now, you don't have much time, but we're going to create podiums on our first broadcast in real life. We're creating a podium Twitchception here. So we'll get that going. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Garrett Smithley, they want to know chat wants to know how it got cracked. How did it get cracked?
I dropped it.
He dropped it where?
Right outside my house. I mean, it was just like, they're calling me, so here I go.
There goes Garrett Smithley. There goes my hero, off to win the race, hopefully, but he's riding around third, maybe fourth. He doesn't even know. That man knows one speed, and that is fast, and goes so fast he drops and cracks his phone. Tell you what, though, you can check him out on track. He runs like everything every weekend, like 3-4 times a weekend. There's 3 series, and he'll run 4 races. That's how committed he is. But Garrett Smithley finally joined us. We'll see if we can catch up again with him later.
Garrett Smithley, the Pennsylvania kid, about to go relieve Ryan Vargas of his duties for the Peach Mafia machine. Peach Mafia currently in 5th. They have quite a long way to go to catch up to Victoria's Secret, Fast Pasa, Off-Axis Paint. And of course, Team Tryhard still leading the way as a door-to-door battle coming across the line there. That was, I believe, Team Tufco, maybe Team Case there coming at it. Still a few drivers here in pretty close proximity, Kenneth.
Yeah, these drivers are starting to come into, or at least within each other. And I've been looking at this top 5 where Peach Mafia has now just jumped to 4th on the grid, and they're about to make the driver changes you just saw there with Garrett Smithley. But I've seen a lot of the top 5 at least change positions. We haven't seen Tryhard or Team Tryhard really fall off of that first spot on the first step of the podium, but we have seen many drivers around 2nd on back. They have also been changing positions, but you see it there on your screen, the flagman holding a sign that says brake sooner. There's a lot of braking spots, Devin, on this racetrack, a lot of tough ones. I think the drivers are having a little bit of issue with having to be hard on the brakes, and maybe that's why the tires are so hot, like they said a little bit earlier.
Hold on, I thought Josh Mendoza wasn't here. What is this? We got a brake sooner sign up here. It's like race control and Monday Night Racing is out here. Oh, hold on. Okay, Jeff is now giving us a report that did not say brake sooner. That actually says all drivers to go down pit road. So, all right. So that was a command for everyone to get back down on pit roads. The driver changes going on right now if they haven't already. Team Tryhard still rocking right now out front, followed by Off-Axis Paints. I haven't seen Chad Reed there. I sure hope Chad Reed is actually here. I haven't gotten word that he isn't, but a great view here from Roger Dieball showing us pit road. Here are all those Le Mans changes right now. Look at all these guys. This is chaos.
Yeah, this is very full. The zoo is packed right now. Look at all the drivers now just trying to buckle themselves in, and then just already trying to strap in. See one of them getting out, the other one going right back in and giving the buckle, the other driver helping out, and then just trying to fire the car back up. You see one of them waving. I believe that might be Team Podium there, just trying to switch their drivers in around, but you see them already there, right there, just making that stop hard on the brakes, switching out, and then making that change in the drivers. So like I said, you have to have that Le Mans style attitude if you really want to make things work in this race. And this is down to the final 14 minutes, Devin, so this is crunch time if you're these drivers in the field.
A chaotic pit road, everyone trying to get back down. There's the drone. Roger Dieball giving us a phenomenal shot from the drone cam down pit road as it finally begins to die down on service and drivers take off their helmets for what might just be the final time. Final stint here with under 15 minutes to go. Who will become the inaugural Monday Night Racing Real World Champion? Right now, your leaders in the number 5 machine of Team Tryhard. Will Rogers looking for the Season 2 sweep of the Season 2 iRacing Championship and the first ever GoPro Motorplex Karting Championship as well, alongside Sanchez. All right, Jeff. Jeff, I like this here. Aw.
No. Oh. And I'm coming right following me. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. I sure hope I don't walk into anything. Like I was saying, though, when I was dropped off on the Uber here, because I got here at 6 o'clock. We went live at 7, and my flight landed at 3 o'clock. I booked the ticket at 11:30 a.m. So when I was getting dropped off here by the Uber, we drove by KBM, like the shop, and then we pulled in, and the Uber driver goes, "Is that Kyle Busch?" I go, "It might be." And I got out, and I walked over to him, and I go, "Kyle Busch?" And he goes, "No." So there you go. It's a great time here at the GoPro.
No, you're good, man. Never mind.
Oh, there we go. Appreciate it. Garrett Smithley sneaking up behind me. Something, I guarantee it. But we'll see who we can find. Everyone just sort of dispersed. I think there's Jimmy John's in the hospitality center. So I think if I go in there, that's where everyone's going to be. I all but guarantee it, actually.
Well, someone going to the front right now is Peach Mafia. Garrett Smithley and Ryan Vargas are teaming up to move on to the podium now. And I believe what? So Smithley's back in that cart, I believe, right? And so he's moved his way onto the podium.
Yeah, and him and Vargas have done a fantastic job moving their way back to the top 3. That last time by, Peach Mafia was faster than the second place off-axis paint team at a 104 flat. Meanwhile, off-axis just ran a 104.2. So it is still getting fairly close between those two, and they're starting to run through in. Actually, now they're fairly even at the line, as now Peach Mafia has just crossed the line. But things are now starting to get tight. But the real question is, can they catch Team Tryhard? They built such a great lead. They've been probably the best car all day long with Will Rogers behind the wheel, along with at least with Nick Sanchez as well. So they've been doing a fantastic job so far. And you see now everybody's stringing out. It is definitely not easy. And you said it there, Jimmy Johns with the food at the hospitality center. Pike was eating a cookie. So I think it goes anyway, whatever you may eat, whatever helps with the energy levels. It certainly is great here tonight.
Whatever you can do, right? Whatever you can do. And off-access paint right now in second between Chad Reed and Greg Stumpf. Now, of course, Chad Reed has all that Supercross and motocross experience with a handful of championships. I mean, 4th all-time on the Supercross wins list. Greg Stumpf has his own racing experience. He finished 2nd place in 2018 in the Little 600 Spotters race, so he has quite a few competitive laps around this circuit. But if timing and scoring is in fact correct, it is a 1-lap gap between them and Team Tryhard at this point, just trying to keep Peach Mafia behind them at about 6.5 seconds.
Yeah, they've been closing in the gaps, and obviously you just saw it there a little bit earlier. A lot of drivers making what may be the final changes for this race. Now just about 10 minutes or closing in on just 10 minutes left in this race. How about this 3-car battle right here to start finish line? They've all been good. I think one driver actually went around there near the rear. We had a local yellow there, but luckily able to get things back situated. Here's another look as we're going through the mid end of the section. This is a place, Devin, where a lot of drivers may have had trouble. This kind of sharp section around, it's a turn 8, turn 9, and turn 10, where you have to be hard on the brakes for turn 8, then kind of sweep it into turn 9, and then going to another right-hander where it's very fast to the last corner of the racetrack.
Yeah, it's very fast. You have that initial braking zone that you just saw a cart go by, and as we watch the camera go along here, this is a part where you're not necessarily full speed, but you don't necessarily have to be on the brakes. You can kind of lift there and then take that long straightaway into 10, and then that heavy braking zone into 11. And so this is a spot where if you have the guts and you got the skill, you can gain a little bit of time here and move forward. So that's a very tough part of the course, because much like in iRacing, you're trying to find that limit, right? And every now and again, you end up losing those rear tires when you need to be just a little bit slower in this tight battle here.
It's a very tight battle. Those 3 karts all within each other. Here's some more separation around this section of the course. So now at least you have to start making up that time. You see Peach Mafia trying to run faster lap times each and every time throughout, with Garrett Smithley behind the wheel of that cart. You have to start making this time now. If you want to start getting track position, just like Team Podium just did, they've just walked into the 6th spot that last time by over Team Combs in the 15 card. So you now have to start getting in positions, because now time is running out. You don't have all of the leeway. You don't have some of that comfortability to try and go for the long game. Now you have to start making these moves.
And Team Podium still trying to hold off Team Combs. Great to have Team Combs here in the number 15 machine, that being Casey Combs and Kevin Combs together there, trying to find a top 10. Still on the rear bumper, though, of Team Podium, and coming down this long back straightaway here between turns 3 and 4. You have this section where you can gain some speed. Maybe some of these guys think that sometimes you can kind of bend that helmet down and you can get a little bit of a draft run. We have this beautiful shot from the drone here. Still a lot of bragging rights at stakes. It doesn't matter if you finish 12th. You still can tell 10 other guys that you beat them in a kart race that mattered and was televised on Podium.
Well, how about this? We saw, we heard at least, I believe it was Gabe Wood that had said it just a little bit earlier, that he said that a lot of the drivers here, they've been racing 6 months on iRacing, and they come right here and they barely know who each other are. They have to meet each other in person, mostly for the first time. I know some drivers do, and some people do know each other here in this area, and of course in this group of people, but a lot of them are meeting each other for the first time. And how about using that first time meeting to take over, have this little go-kart race, and be able to brag over them a little bit after racing 6 months on iRacing, having this real race and say, hey, I beat you in real life. I think that means a lot more, definitely.
Everyone just having a great time here live at GoPro Motorplex in Mooresville, North Carolina for Monday Night Racing's Championship Banquet and the Tufco Team Enduro Challenge. Everyone having a great time down in the pits and down on the track. And of course, the season coming up soon. Round 1 for Monday Night Racing back here on Podium Esports at Daytona. Monday, May 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern. That'll be right here on Twitch TV/Podium2. But don't miss out on the action that's still going on every week. The Esports Racing League, Anthony Alfredo's great league, round number 3 coming up on Monday, April 12th. They will be taking the car up tomorrow to Kansas, 8 p.m. Eastern start time on the Podium Esports Twitch channel. And two guys who we really wish were here that they said that they'll be watching the stream instead, Anthony Alfredo and Ron Capps. Wish you guys were here racing with everybody, but nonetheless glad to have you on the stream. It's still Team Tryhard with the lead. I believe it is a 1-lap lead over Ox Access Paint. Peach Mafia then sitting currently in the 3rd position. And these guys just having a good time. And Kenneth, this has just been such a fun event for everyone part of it as they try to determine a champion here in the physical world.
Yeah, and I think this makes it worse, Devin, because I want to be there. I want to be at that track watching. I want to be in my car myself. We can make a team and be there, compete with these guys. It's really so much fun, and you gotta wonder, this definitely makes you want to be a part of the action, and just the collective great group of guys and what they've been able to do here to celebrate that season 2 and do everything they can. So it's been so much fun. I think here virtually at home, I'm kind of jealous because I want to be there in Mooresville, North Carolina, not here in my home in Miami, Florida right now, but definitely is a lot of fun to sight to behold nonetheless.
And hey, maybe you guys watching at home would love to be a part of this next time too. And if your business is interested in partnering with anything going on at Podium Esports, maybe even sponsoring part of this physical world race once it happens again, hey, we have plans and budgets and all kinds of packages to best fit your needs. Be sure to drop an email to admin@podiumesports.com for more information on the wide variety of partnership possibilities. And for now, the only guy looking for a sponsorship is some Tufco swag with the Team Tryhard group under 5 minutes to go in this 1-hour enduro race. And certainly the 2 real-life drivers and the 2 drivers with arguably the most kart racing experience, yeah, they've kind of ran away here tonight.
Yeah, they definitely have, but I've been watching some of the guys near the midfield talk about Team Podium in the 7. They ran their fastest lap at lap number 47. It was a 103.7, so they still have a lot to go. Kicking Asphalt in the 10 machine also set their fastest lap just this time by a 104.4. Not necessarily as quick as the leaders per se, but just like they've been saying, and just like at least that we've been seeing, Devin, throughout this entire race, a lot of the drivers that are making their first starts at GoPro Motorplex are starting to learn, and they're starting to kind of adapt to how this track works, how their car is feeling, and of course over the course of the night they're starting to get a bit faster.
And kicking Asphalt, Jake Fisher, the Space Station Gaming General Manager, alongside Garrett Ryder, a part of that. And it looks like we have an issue here. Still drivers trying to push the issue and going around a little bit and might lose a spot there. We'll see a lot of these drivers all kind of bundled together on different laps.
Yeah, they saw the officials there throwing that local yellow, at least hoping that things are going to be clear there. You see clear with a 1-car incident. There's a nice battle there through the midsection of the course. But how about we throw it back to the man of the hour, Jeff McConey, who's back down. Jeff, what do you have?
Well, I got Will and I got Brent here, and we have some prizes courtesy of the Hospitality Center. So, Will, where are you running out there on track right now?
I think we're a lap ahead at this point.
You're a lap ahead?
We're a lap ahead. Yeah.
Correct.
Wow. So they have now gone a full lap ahead, and courtesy of the Hospitality Center, we give him these are Jimmy Chips jalapeno. So there you go, courtesy of the Hospitality Center. They were out of sandwiches. There was one left, and it was like sitting out for an hour and kind of warm. So we didn't give that to you. That's for last place, whoever's out there running there. But for Brent, what position are you running in?
I think we're in 13th. I'll just say not all the carts are created equally, so I think our cart is a little bit slower than the rest of them.
So Brent out there for running in 13th place gets the Heinz yellow mustard from the Hospitality Center. There you go. There was mayonnaise in there as well, but that was also questionable on its temperature. Mustard you can get away with a little bit more. There you go. You are very welcome. Courtesy of, I think it came in the Jimmy John's packet, maybe. And James Pike is here as well with his bottle of water. He's ready to go. He's sweaty. Oh, James, you're jumping in. What position are you out there?
We're not jumping in. We're done. We're done.
He's done. Did you bin it?
Yeah, no, kind of once over in 6 at the start of my stint back when I was going, but the key was to not cede that much time. And we only lost like 3 spots relative to when we came in. So that's all that's for.
You're sitting in 6th right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 6th or 5th, yeah, somewhere in about there. But yeah, I know when I got out, or when Raj got out, we were 5th. I got out, we were 8th. Raj just got it back to 6th. So
fair to say Raj is the better driver?
Oh, I would never question it.
Okay, so
most importantly, Raj is the better driver. Raj also goes to Tufco State University. Represent the trade, let him know it's all good. I'm proud of Winston Salem, and I'm proud that he's taken up their motorsports management program there for his undergrad. It's a really good, can't even talk. Really good program. I know the guys that run that stuff, and it's awesome, especially when you get to take your classes and look over 3 and 4 Bowman Gray. Few things finer.
that does sound pretty darn good. Out there in Indiana, it's just flat. We're lucky if we get like a hole in the ground. We call that a valley. So we don't get anything. We don't get cool things like that. We get, if we want to do something cool, we have to fly to North Carolina.
Dirt tracks. You get dirt tracks.
There's a couple dirt tracks out there.
A couple?
But not anywhere near Purdue. I live in the cornfields. If we get bored, we just go tractor tipping.
That's not far, is it?
No one wants to go to Terre Haute.
Everyone wants to go to Terre
Just
Haute.
Oxford. And we don't have anything like GYATK either, so.
Well, so this is honest to God a true story. There was one time I was with a couple friends, and one of them mentioned that they did not have a driver's license. And the other person immediately responded with, "Oh, you don't have a driver's license? Are you from Terre Haute?" You can guess where they were from, Terre Haute. So a little bit of love, but we're getting ready to wrap this up here, and we're going to be talking to more people post-race, but we got some interesting stuff coming up. Stay tuned.
The final seconds of this race, the white flag is out, and Team Tryhard has put the rest of the field beyond the rear view mirror. Peach Mafia in second place, just trying to hold off Access Pain as those two are in a tight battle for the second position on the podium. Time has officially expired here at GoPro Motorplex in the inaugural Monday Night Racing Banquet Weekend night. And it's Wednesday, nonetheless. Still out here trying to have a little bit of a party. Everyone just having a good time here in Mooresville, North Carolina. A lot of these guys seeing each other in person for the first time outside of being in a Discord room. And all these drivers looking to make their final circuit around the 7/10 mile track at GoPro Motorplex.
Flagman, you see him have the checkered flag in hand, so he's ready to bring it out for Team Tryhard as they come across the front straightaway. There it is. Team Tryhard is the winner of the Tufco Enduro Challenge here at GoPro Motorplex. Will Rogers and, of course, Nick Sanchez, a phenomenal job all race long for that team. You see the tight battle for second. Peach Mafia has crept all the way up to second. Lots of off-axis paint on the third spot. So it was great racing here, and now we get to cap it off as the night falls through.
Will Rogers and Nick Sanchez are Monday Night Racing karting champions, winning the inaugural race at GoPro Motorplex. A phenomenal showcase from those two drivers with some real-world karting and stock car experience, if you will. But nonetheless, a phenomenal outing from them. Peach Mafia will come home in second with the duo of Garrett Smithley and Ryan Vargas, and Off-Access Pain will have to settle for the third place position. But Kenneth, these guys just went out here, and I think that you can tell everybody just had a blast.
Yeah, it was all about fun. I think that was the consensus going into this race. You got a little bit of competition. These guys have that competitive spirit, but all in all, it's all about having a blast, having a good time, and of course, spending time with the guys that you've just competed a long and grueling season with. I think none really compares to this, and a phenomenal job by Ford and everybody that made this happen on Monday Night Racing to gather all these drivers together here at GoPro Motorplex and have this fantastic race. See some of the drivers still getting to wrap up and go down pit road and take their final stints, or at least cap off their final stints, being able to take off the helmets for the final time. So, Devin, it's been awesome watching it here up in the booth. Definitely wish we were there at the track ourselves, but it was a lot of fun even from here.
Well, let's take you through your final finishing order tonight at GoPro Motorplex. For the Tufco Team Enduro Challenge, Team Tryhard with the victory. Will Rogers, the virtual champion in Season 2, taking home the karting championship alongside Nick Sanchez. Peach Mafia in second with Garrett Smithley and Ryan Vargas. Off-Access Paints, Greg Stumpf and Chad Reed ending in the last spot on the podium. Fast Pasta, Zach McAfee, and whoever the heck is with him from SimSeats, I guess, brings it home in fourth. Victoria's Secret, Ford Martin and Matt Stolnick finishing in fifth. Team Podium with James Pike and Rajah Caruth in sixth. Team Combs, the number 15 machine, Casey Combs and Kevin Combs coming home in 7th. Team E in the number 14, Barry and Blake coming home in 8th. Kicking asphalt with the 9th place finish with Jake Fisher and Garrett Ryder. Team Tufco bringing home a top 10 for them in the number 13 machine with Connor Case and Mike Case. Team Case then follows up behind them. They're going to get a near full out of the victors from 10th and 11th there. Team Case comprised of Kennedy Case and Jackson Case. DJ Max Respect brings it home in 12th. Behind the wheel was DJ Cummings and Max Kennens. The G's coming home in the 13th position, that being Robbie Lyons and Brett Baldeck. Team Ramrod in the 14th position, Steve Affont and Michael Massey. Sexwood Racing SSL for the 15th position, Gabe Wood and Gary Sexton. Miller Lewis Racing finishes in 16th. The number 11 machine of Garrett Miller and Noah Lewis. And finally, the Stephen Ellis fan club, not what they wanted to do for their idol, Stephen Ellis, but at the end of the day, Drew Welker and Justin Malillo round out your 17-car field here at GoPro Motorplex. And it sounds like we got some celebrations already going off here downstairs. We got some lighting, we have some screams, we have some hooting, we have some hollering. And I think that we have the try-hard team downstairs. Jeff, do we have our champions, Will Rogers and Nick Sanchez, downstairs yet?
Yes, we do indeed have our champions here of the night. Look at that. You got a trophy. What's it say?
I got my Season 2 Monday Night Racing champion. That's right. Walked away with the hardware for the regular season and then the kickoff here for GoPro Motorplex. My partner in crime here, Nick Sanchez, did a good job.
I think the name lived up to itself, Team Tryhard. But, you know, the car was good all night, and we just executed flawless, and here we are.
So it was a lap and a half, and you mentioned bringing home the hardware. There's some more hardware over there. It's a big green egg, so I'm pretty sure you guys are walking home with a big green egg.
Well, I wouldn't say we're walking because that stuff weighs like a lot. So, you know, we'll probably have to find a pickup truck. But actually, my buddy Preston Partis gets that big green egg because halfway through the season, I promised him that I'd give it to him if I won the championship. So I may have brought home the hardware. Preston brought home the big green egg.
Well, Preston, if you're watching, you get a big green egg. So that's a pretty good deal. We got the drone flying over there. But you won the race by a lap and a half. So what happened? How does that happen here?
I think we tried too hard.
Try hard, tried too hard.
Hence the name. I think we just tried too hard. I don't know. Nick and I, you know, we got a lot of laps here, and we teammate really well together. So we knew that as long as we executed, like he said, and hit our marks and got out front, it was all wrapped up from there. Honestly, lap 1, I said we got it in the bag. So
I just want to say a shout out to Ryan Vargas. He was in the lead for maybe about 5 feet. He didn't even make it to the first corner. I just want to put that out there to everyone. I hope you're watching, Ryan. Yeah.
Ryan, we love you. We love you, but
we love you, Ryan.
You know, friendly competition here. He'll get it.
Wow, a bit of friendly competition there. Do you have anyone you want to thank for taking home all the hardware and the big green egg and everything else?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, need to thank Monday Night Racing and all the partners, but really Space Station Racing, Space Station Gaming, my partner. We're doing big things on the Coke Series front and RTP front, and we just got a lot of things going on, and it's really exciting to be part of it, and I'm really happy to have brought them into Monday Night Racing and get them one of their first championships. So it's really cool, and yeah, thanks to everybody else for following along. Appreciate the views.
I'll just second what he said. I mean, he covered all the aspects of it. But yeah, I'd like to thank Ford Martin, Monday Night Racing for putting on a great series, and it's been fun.
Well, it certainly has been a ton of fun. We're supposed to have Peach Mafia. There we go. We got the helmets. Also, the helmets painted by Off Axis, who finished 3rd tonight. And I'm going to speak loudly and try and get the attention of James Pike as he's walking away so we can get our 2nd and 3rd place finishers tonight. But James Pike doesn't seem to hear me as he's hustling quickly in the other direction. He's waving. He didn't hear a word I said, and he's just walking away. So we'll get that sorted. We'll get everyone over here tonight. But let's give a shout out over to the guys in the production booth right behind us over there. That's Ryan Bauer. He usually works from the virtual production booth. Now they brought over to the real life. Ryan, props to you. Clap all around. Great stuff there. These are the guys that brought it to you. These are the guys that make it happen each and every single podium broadcast. Huge thank you to them. Without them, I wouldn't be out here. I wouldn't have a job. And thank you to everyone along with Podium. But we will have more coming. But Will has one more thing to say here.
Yes. So if you don't mind, I'm going to try to take over here for a second. Can I hold the mic?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, thanks, man. Okay.
Absolutely.
So this is my first time doing Monday Night Racing. but it's not my first time running a season with Nick Sanchez, who just happened to be my teammate tonight. And Nick is definitely known as the bulldozer in the series. So Nick, come on in. Come on in here. Is season 3 going to show the bulldozer? Is he going to show up again?
Oh yes, bigger and better. We're gonna upgrade it.
You heard it here, folks. So that's on him. Whoever gets wrecked, it's Nick Sanchez's fault.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.
I'm going to go ahead, and if he's taking it up a notch from the bulldozer, he is full on the excavator. He is Caterpillar Incorporated, going to be knocking things down, and that nickname is going to stick through season 3, which you can catch here on Podium. But I'm going to throw it back up to the guys in the booth as we get ready here. We're going to track down some more people. Everyone was supposed to come over here and spend time with me, but like I said, the more handsome broadcaster couldn't make their flight. They missed it, so now I'm here, and nobody wanted to come over and talk from second and third. But we will catch up with them. Guys up in the booth, let's have a good time here.
Well, I mean, I've actually been bulldozed by the excavator, Nick Sanchez, so I'm looking forward to more of that in season number 3. It's always fun racing with all the guys, everything. And everyone's having a good time downstairs. And we take a look at the podium, and I don't know if this is still the case, but you see those blue rocks up on top of the podium, and those are actual curbings from the Parma, Italy course. They might have been repainted. They used to be red and white, I know of, but yeah, but now they're blue because the GoPro sponsored the track, and so it's blue now. That's how that works. And you see Ryan Vargas, Garrett Smithley is over there. I saw Ford Martin handing out some hardware earlier as well. So everyone getting some of their final swag courtesy of Tufco Flooring. A big thank you to Tufco and all that they have done with their partnership with Monday Night Racing and being the title sponsor, along with sponsoring both championship races thus far. And there is your podium. Team Tryhard, Peach Mafia, and Off Access Paint. From left to right, that's Garrett Smithley, Ryan Vargas, Will Rogers, Nick Sanchez. And straight up, I do not know what Greg Stumpf looks like. Although I think that's Chad Reed there, second from the right. Yeah, so there's, I can't see Chad's face with the hat, but yeah, how about that? Look at this podium. Who has the most wins out of everyone on this podium right now? Chad Reed's 44 wins in Supercross, and he just got a podium at a karting track.
Well, you see everybody there celebrating the top 3 teams of tonight's race. It's been an awesome run here, Devin. You see the winners now, at least extending their stay on the podium. The other 2 decided to head off. Love the curb there from the Parma course that they were able to bring over to GoPro Motorplex to make this happen and make it such a unique podium here. You see Will Rogers and Nick Sanchez using that celebration, and Ford Martin giving a speech to all the drivers, thanking them of what a fantastic job they've done tonight.
And Ford has done a phenomenal job in building Monday Night Racing into what it is today. It started way back with Rob D'Amico creating the Big Green Egg Media Mayhem race, and Ford Martin picked up what was left there along with Paul Sutton, a number of other fans from that race, and they decided to make this crazy series that has now went for 2 seasons, that has had a variety of hosts for the national anthem. They have had invocation members, even Michael McDowell doing the invocation, Alan Beswick, Bob Jenkins on the mic, and of course, most recently, Adam Alexander, Larry McReynolds, bringing out Darrell Waltrip from retirement to do 2 sim races on Podium Esports. A phenomenal job by the digital content producer at Fox Sports to create Monday Night Racing into what it is today, as we look forward to a ridiculous season 3 schedule coming up in just a few weeks, starting at Daytona, and of course a full-length Indianapolis 500 coming up on May 24th, and some really fun races here, combinations, Kenneth, because you have Chicagoland at Xfinity. Okay, that's a fun race. You have the throwback race like the 1987s at Darlington in the playoffs. But how about some of these combinations? The Pro 2 trucks at Watkins Glen, taking the Bristol trucks to dirt like we had in the real world, going to Lime Rock for the MX-5s, going on dirt with Knoxville with the dirt street stocks. Some really phenomenal combinations that we are excited for here at Podium Esports all season long.
And that's the magic, Devin, of Monday Night Racing, just the amount of car track combos that can cater to each and every driver. That's why we've had so many different drivers from so many different places. You've seen guys like Kyle Busch, Ron Capps, Will Power join this series as well, making some races and going in some cars on the sim that either they have all the experience in, or maybe some cars that they have never driven in their lives. And with the kart track combos, you see it there, even in the playoffs, round of 13, Nashville Super Speedway with the super late models, and probably my favorite, the Homestead Miami Roval with the Porsche 911. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think since myself, I'm part of the home crowd there at Homestead, virtually and in real life. So that's definitely going to be a lot of fun. But I mean, if you liked what you saw here in real life, you're definitely going to like what you're going to see in the sim in just a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, you absolutely know it, and it has been so much fun. And the parody, if you like the parody in the NASCAR Cup Series, how about the parody in Monday Night Racing? They only had 4 multi-time winners. Besides that, the 17 races were all different winners. Heck, Will Rogers, your Season 2 champion, he only won a single race, but then just had consistency through the playoffs and just put together great finishes. So really, really diverse track combinations with the cars, and just a lot of fun racing that I think we really debuted today at GoPro Motorplex. Everybody was just having a great time, Kenneth.
Yeah, it was a great time. I think I had a blast. I know you've had a blast. I know Jeff was having a lot of fun downstairs and at least making things happen. Ryan Bauer, phenomenal production work down there in real time as we're on the virtual side here. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. I mean, especially when Monday Night Racing actually kicks off their season, it's going to be even better for them, knowing that, we're going to have our full-fledged season. We're going to have all of our coverage here on Podium Esports, and it's definitely going to be even more fun. Not more fun for me. I think more fun for you. You're going to be driving in this series, so I think you may feel that pressure seeing that schedule a little bit.
Oh, I feel no pressure. I come out here just for fun, and someone else who came out here just for fun and maybe a little bit of flight expenses is Jeff McConey, who is downstairs with some more of our drivers.
Flight expenses, oh, it's nothing when you get to come out here to the GoPro Motorplex, have a great time. North Carolina, it's a lot nicer, a lot warmer, a lot hillier than Indiana is. Indiana tends to just be flat everywhere. So it's a lot cooler out here. I'm spending a lot of time out here, and I'm really enjoying it. And if you're at the NASCAR Hall of Fame tomorrow and you see a guy tearing it up on the iRacing simulators, that's probably going to be me. But in the meantime, here we have Mr. Gary. How did everything go behind the scenes here?
Behind the scenes, everything went really well. I feel like we, yesterday we kind of put all this together when we knew we were all going to be here, and it was kind of a last-minute thing that, I can't wait to go back and watch and see how everything did. But yeah, behind the scenes, everything was great. On the track, not so much.
We blow her up.
Yeah.
We blow her up.
Pretty much. I mean, the thing was misfiring right from the get-go down the straightaway. We had no speed. I don't know. I said it in the interview I did earlier. I don't know where the speed was. It might have had something to do with our size a little bit. You go up against these young little race car guys. They're just zipping down the straightaway. But we did have a little bit of a misfire. So yeah. I don't know. I can't speak for how Gabe's race is going, but I really didn't have anyone near me the whole time, which I guess is a good thing because it probably would have been a lot worse if I did.
So a little bit of damage to the cart right out the gate there, but you guys made it work. What position did you guys come home in?
15.
Out of 18, right?
Out of 18.
18 and the 17 that showed up. But, hey,
yeah.
You beat Anthony Alfredo. That's right.
You beat Anthony Alfredo. You beat Kyle Busch. So you guys, you guys outran Kyle Busch. So great work out there, guys. Any other thoughts on it?
Well, I'd just like to say you were talking about the behind-the-scenes deal. Me coming from 2015, 2014 LSR TV, seeing how far its real iteration Podium Esports has come. I was there in that time and kind of left away from it, and to see where you guys have taken it, where all Gary and Cisco and everybody's taken it, it's amazing. I mean, I never thought I'd be on an IRL Podium broadcast. It's kind of fun.
I know. You guys could have been standing at the actual IRL podium, but you were just a couple spots off. That's it. In the grand scheme of things, 12 is a really small number, right? So you were pretty much third place. If there were 100 cars here, you guys would have been fine, right?
Yeah, if there's 100 cars here, we'd be looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. There's a bunch of cars, other carts here that didn't get run, and you beat all of them. Yeah, you got that. You look at all the carts behind us. These didn't even make the grid.
Hey, I
so
why they gave us these podium hats that we finished on the podium.
There you go. In the grand scheme of things, yeah.
Just tuning in, we actually finished third.
Some timing and scoring issues, but we'll get it worked out.
A new driver to sign, Gary Sexton, Gabe Wood. I mean, it's
Is that your cart coming in right now with no power at all? Anyways, it looks like everyone else has probably gone home or they've gone to go celebrate. So we're going to wrap things up here, but I'll toss it to you guys for it. Thank you for having me out here. It was quite the experience getting the call at 11:30, but here we are having a great time at the GoPro Motorplex. Thank you, everybody.
Well, Jeff, it was a pleasure to have you here, man. You did a phenomenal Michael Waltrip impression down on pit road, chatting with everybody, and it was great to be able to chat with you. And for all of you guys still watching there on Podium Esports on Twitch or on Twitter or Facebook, I just hope that we were able to do whatever that we could to help make this a fun experience for all of you guys watching for Podium Esports' first real-life broadcast of actual racing. And Kenneth, I think that we all just had a really great time. And now I think I can hear McConey is actually waiting for a sponsorship plug, actually. He's listening on his phone, it sounds like. So McConey Setup Shop, who actually put together the setup for Monday Night Racing at Atlanta, did a great job, wore the gear all day today and did a great job. And Kenneth, great to do this with you as well. And hopefully maybe we'll do it again in the future in real life. Kenneth, you might be muted. And this is why we need to be in person, right?
Yeah, I think we've got that experience to nail down. We can get that. But, this one is going in the memory banks for sure. I mean, this is first real-life broadcast on Podium Esports. It's usually accustomed to doing everything on iRacing. This hopefully could be a great step for Podium moving forward, hopefully doing some real-life events in the future. But with a collection of people, with the collection of everything going on, it has been so much fun. And with you, I know we do the MPI Cup Series broadcasts on Sundays, but to go off here on a Wednesday on what would be our day off, it definitely will be so much fun. And I'm looking forward to a lot of these events in the future here on Podium Esports.
Take the E out of it. Podium Sports.
Podium Sports. You said it before the broadcast, so I give you props for that.
Oh my goodness, a phenomenal showcase, and these are all the names that made it happen. Me and Kenneth are up there on top for some reason. I just hope that we were able to make this experience great for all of you guys watching as well and enjoyed it as much as everyone did down there. Our producer, Ryan Bauer, did a phenomenal job. Justin, I'm going to screw up your last name. Is it Full? I'm not sure. Thank you for coming down and operating the cameras. Roger Dieball did a phenomenal job with the drone. Barry Sexton, who was racing, did a great job as well, helping out with the graphics and the technology to get this job done. And wait, hold on. Who was photo and social? Because he did a phenomenal job as well. Those photos going out on Twitter and Facebook were great. Eric Messer did a phenomenal job himself as well there. Everyone who put this together for a first of its kind broadcast was absolutely remarkable. Huge thank you to our other partner, Michael Guerrilla, who unfortunately wasn't on the broadcast, but was helping out at GoPro Motorplex. And thank you to the Motorplex for hosting Monday Night Racing. And of course, Ford Martin, the work at Fox Sports, putting together Monday Night Racing. Andrew Adamson at iRacing. For James Pike and Cisco Scarmuzza, Gary Sexton and John Theodore at Podium Esports. For Ford Martin, Paul Sutton and Josh Mendoza at Monday Night Racing. For our producer, Ryan Bauer, and my colleague in the booth, Kenneth Bueno, and also Jeff McConey of McConey's Setup Shop, I am Devin Henry, and it was an absolute pleasure to bring you the Tufco Team Enduro Challenge live from GoPro Motorplex in Mooresville, North Carolina. And thank you for joining in on the fun with us. Racing resumes in the virtual world on April 5th at Daytona, but be sure to tune into the Esports Racing League back in action on Monday with the NASCAR Car of Tomorrow at Kansas, 8 p.m. Eastern start time on Monday. Everyone have a great rest of your week, and we hope you shared a laugh with everyone here on Podium Esports.